how to handle this machine. As LaRon's already told you, about the only way that this machine will go bad is if it's something you do wrong. Okay, and I'm not trying to put the blame on anybody, but in 10 years I've seen 3 machines, I believe 3 machines go bad. Those, I guess, in every case was where somebody messed up. One lady, I'm going to show you how to, and some of these things are going to sound awful silly to you when I'm telling you this, but listen to me. When you get in the field, if you don't hear what I say, you will be embarrassed, okay? How'd I know? Because I was embarrassed. When some of these things happen, and you're sitting there with a client, and all of a sudden this machine just starts jumping, and that client says, what's wrong? And you realize, I didn't do what I was supposed to when I set it up. You can tell that client to get up and go home, because they're not going to listen to nothing else you say. Okay, you're through with them. So that's why I want to teach you what to do with this machine, how to handle this machine, how to set it up, and the whole 9 yards. So the first thing we'll do, and I don't know, LeBron's got enough for all of you, I guess. We've tried to buy up all the competition, okay? But this is a machine inside a Pelican case. This case is if you'll use this case, and he's got 2 other kind, but this is my preference, because you can take it on a plane with you. You can put it in your car. I actually had a wreck with this in my car. It slammed it all over the car. When I got my machine, it was still intact. Nothing happened to it, so that's good. But you take your machine, and the first thing you do, now, if you listen, now I want you to listen too. You hear that? Okay. That undoes your machine. Now I'm going to show you what you need to take with you to trainings, okay? Everybody know what this is? It's a heating pad, okay? For the reason for that is you're going to run across clients that their hands are cold, and you cannot get circulation through them. So this heating pad will heat it up to where you can get a reading on those people, okay? Always take you an extra drop cord, because everywhere you go, they're not going to have them, okay? And all this stuff, LeBron and them is going to provide for you, I think, or make it accessible to you to where you'll have these things. And then when you get ready to take your machine up, handle this thing, everybody knows what they cost. This is not a toy, so handle it as so, okay? And once you get all your stuff out of the machine, out of the box, and what I'm about to show you with this machine is very crucial to you setting it up. Most of you run computers, right? Do you ever cut it on before you plug it up? Okay. Now we're going to set this aside just a minute. You treat this just like you would a computer. Okay. Now then, be still there. Before you attach anything to this machine, now, there is a stand that comes in. Some of these still got the stand on them. See right there where it's been took off? That's for a reason. You can take that stand and set it up like this. And I'm telling you, if it's got a stand on your machine, don't ever do that, okay? Because if somebody puts pressure on this machine, that's the worst design I've ever seen. This will go through the back of your machine, push that plastic into the motherboard, and your machine's ruined. It's done. Cost about $1,200 to $1,400 5 years ago to get it fixed. I don't know what it would cost now. Now then, this is something that's very crucial. See your hand? Now you can reach over here and you're going to do it if you want to. It's going to be your machine. But if you don't listen to me, one of these days you'll have it where it won't print right. Take your fingers, mash down on this cover. There's a little button on the back side. You pull it to the side, release it, let that up, and then let your button go. This little lip in here, this button, see this? That's the one I pull to the side. Because this little hook in here is so fragile that if you keep pulling it without releasing the pressure, it will eventually spring it. Then this won't close properly. And when it does, this is a laser printer. I told you a while ago, we didn't know anything about these machines. And I was the guy that hit the road. I ran 150, 200 tests right off the bat. So I got to thinking about, where's the ink going? So I called the home office and I say, look, I've run about 200 tests. Where do I put the ink in this thing at? This is how much they told us about them. This is a laser printer. They didn't even tell us that. Okay? So that's not good. Now then, if you've transported this machine anywhere, before you start running tests, you tighten this up. Okay? See what I just done? You tighten it back up to its original tension. Roll it back up. Lay it back in there, just like it came out. Do the exact same thing. Pull your button to the side, push it down, lock it, let it go. The reason for that is, if you don't tighten that and you're running a test on somebody, when this thing gets ready, it's automatic. Once you mash that button, it's over. You don't have any more control over it. When it does its job, it prints. If that paper is loose in here and it starts pushing it out, it will start jumping. It won't print. That's when you just destroyed that client. Okay? Now then, do not turn this machine on till you got everything hooked up. Okay? Now then, there's going to be two different kind of hookups on the probe. You see this one? This is the one that actually screws into the side, and then there's one that just plugs in. Why they did two designs, I don't know, and some of them's got. But if you'll look at this, it's set the same way as this. It's patterned. Please watch what you're doing. I saw a guy in Huntsville, Alabama, take this, not watch what he was doing, pushed it, forced it upside down. When he cut the machine on, it said zzz, zzz, zzz. Okay, he had just paid me $4,500 for that machine. He wanted me to replace it. I said, no, I spent all that time training you. You didn't watch what you're doing. That's your problem. Okay? If you look, and you look at your pattern, they're the same thing. Line it up before you do any pressure. Line it up, push it straight in. Tighten it down. Be careful with that, because this little line I just showed you is about $275. So don't ruin it. Now then, you're ready to cut it on. Okay? It takes it about 30 seconds and it's ready. Okay, it's ready to go. It's ready when you are. You go into a place to, and what I always do, and please do this, you don't want, you're sitting there with somebody and you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to act like you don't know what you're doing, okay? So when you get everything done, you're sitting there before anybody comes in and sits down, there's a little button on here that says print. So you're wasting 4 cents worth of paper that can save your reputation with your people right quick. Okay? And that's how you set the machine up. Okay? Now then, but just as important as setting it up is breaking it down. This is probably more important than setting it up. Always cut your machine off first. Okay? Undo your probe. I know this sounds silly to a lot of y'all, but this can save you some money. Undo your probe, pull it out. Don't ever bend this. If you bend that wire, you've kinked it and you're through. Roll it. And when you get through, I've got, with somewhere in my machine, I did have little, kind of like little Ziploc bags, little plastic bags you put them in to keep them rolled up. Then do your power. Do the same thing with it. Of course, it's not as fragile as that probe is, but still you need to roll it up. Now then, this right here, and the reason I do this is because I had a lady in Springfield, Missouri that did not listen to what I said. Okay. Take this machine very gingerly, slides right back down in your case. Replace all your equipment. It's got little, machine will have little places in it to put it. Once you get everything back in, replace it. We'll take it all out again in a little while, do the training. But you'd be surprised how much you can get in this case if you'll pack it right. Most of the time I don't do it right, so I don't. That's why I take my wife along. She can pack the machine better than I can. Literally. I'm gonna leave it out because we're gonna need it. Okay. When you close this machine, okay, now then, you hear that? Hear that? Is the machine locked? Listen. You make sure you hear that.